Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And again, Mr. Kerlikowske, thank you for your willingness to serve. And, my colleagues have already started on kind of a dual track of asking about, questions. Obviously, speed is essential, and so is security. And it's one of the reasons why I'm excited about your nomination to this position, because somebody who comes from the Pacific Northwest gets that so importantly. Nothing said the importance to trade more than the falling down of the Skagit River Bridge and then curtailing I-5 traffic and costing us hundreds of millions of dollars in lost opportunity practically daily. So we got to get that right. Speed matters. But I'm glad that you mentioned the word transparency in your statement and that that's one of your goals. And from a Pacific Northwest point of view, there are two words that are incredibly important to me and to my constituents. One is the issue of technology and the use of technology, and the other is privacy. And I'm hoping that in this position you will be able to further both of those issues and find the right balance. So I wanted to ask you, will you do everything to protect the constitutional rights of U.S. citizens on their rights to privacy in this position?
Certainly, Senator, I would very much do that if I'm confirmed in this position. And I think my history in Seattle in particular is helpful as police chief. I put in the cameras, the video cameras inside the police cars so that every police car would have an audio and a visual recording of every traffic stop. We institute a number of checks and balances, and having been police chief there during 9/11, you know that the city of Seattle operates under a unique intelligence oversight ombudsman agreement, similar to what existed in New York City and what's called the Handshoe Agreement. I was told that perhaps it would be time to, after 9/11, that oversight mechanism, ombudsman, would not be as necessary given the threat of terrorism in the country. I looked at that very carefully and believed that we could very much operate and maintain a safe city at the same time that we had transparency and the ombudsman to oversee our intelligence activities, and I would continue that at CBP.
Well, I think these issues are important. Obviously, we caught a lot of CBP, but prior to your nomination, caught a lot of people off guard out on the Olympic Peninsula, showing off in unmarked cars. People weren't thinking that they were 25 miles from the border. They think they were out on a Sunday afternoon drive, and next thing you know, they were being pulled over by somebody they didn't even recognize the marking. So very important to this process. But you might have seen the Washington Post today on unmanned aerial vehicles, and the Commerce Committee is having a hearing this afternoon on unmanned aerial vehicles. Now, the Custom and Border can make great use of this technology, whether we're talking about the drug interdiction off the coast of Washington and helping the Coast Guard, or our very porous borders that can't have people everywhere. But obviously, one of the big privacy concerns is that somehow information will be collected and stored and then accessed by other individuals that may invade the personal privacy rights of U.S. citizens. So I hope that you will work as the head of this organization to pay attention to these privacy issues, that technology moves forward, but that we come up with a firm and solid ground for privacy rights of U.S. citizens under the 4th and 14th Amendments to be protected.
I very much understand that, Senator, and I would adhere to that.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.